There are two horror games that we're going to be talking about in this video, Granny and Granny Chapter 2. But which one really is better? We're going to get to that in just a second here. First of all, I wanted to welcome you to this video and to my channel. If this is your first time or you've never hit the button down below, do go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, set that to all notifications so that way you can get notified when fresh content comes out and be the first to see it. So, this whole issue about these two games. Now, I'm going to tell you the truth. I like playing both of them. I don't hate either one necessarily. But which one is better, Granny or Granny Chapter 2? Well, today I want to go ahead and answer that and really explain why I think that my answer is so. So let's go ahead and get into it. Which one do I think really is better? Which game do I think really is better? Granny Chapter 1 or Granny Chapter 2? The answer, my personal preference, is on Granny, the original Granny Chapter 1. Okay, so why do I think that? What are my reasons behind it? I got a couple top reasons that overwhelm everything else. The first one is the game, the house, really. The house layout itself. And I mean this in a couple different ways. So first of all, in Granny Chapter 1, let me take you through this, okay? Granny Chapter 1, you wake up, you're obviously in some strange bedroom in some old creepy house, and you need to get out of there. You wake up, there's a bed behind you, you sit up in the bed, there's a table, there's another table with a vase on it, there's a dresser, there's a painting, and there's a little wardrobe to hide in, and one door. You open that door, you realize you're in a bedroom in the house, you open the door, you go out, and there is quite a bit of different ways you can go, but it's an open area, and you can clearly see the front door where you need to escape. And then at that point it comes down to, okay, what do I do now? And then from there, it's such an open area that you have many options to choose from. You can go to the bathroom, you can go down the stairs, you can go down a hallway into a bedroom. That's all there. Whereas in Granny Chapter 2, you wake up in a basement bedroom, I guess. It's just a bed in a room. The rest is just empty. You have to go outside because you don't know what to expect. And you're honestly, in part, you're trying to figure out where you are. You turn and you look, and there's like 3 million doorways. Not really, there's like 5, but still, I can't tell you how many times I've gotten turned around trying to find the right door to go upstairs. And then once you do start to go upstairs, then you realize that they're like right there most of the time, either Granny or Grandpa or both, and you have to retreat, and then you have to hide. You have to wait for them to go away the first couple times, and then after that, then you can go up again. Usually there's the other ones waiting there for you, and then you got to do the whole thing over, and it takes forever just to get past that one spot because you start down on the lower level and you don't even see what you're supposed to be doing at first. I mean, you can go down to the boat area, or you can go up those stairs, like I said, once you eventually find them, and go up and see the front door finally, but and there's really no way of you seeing the helicopter until you find it later. That's one of the problems I don't like about it. It's just the way that the house is set up, it's just very uninviting, per se. I don't know if it's supposed to be inviting necessarily, but you don't know what to do next quite as much as you do in the original Granny, where you open the door and there's the door. So there's that. And then in another way, when I say I like the house better in the first one, I mean because here's the thing. Here's one of the reasons why I like the house better in Granny Chapter 1. Ugliness. You say, ugliness? Why would you like that over the, per se, the prettier house, I guess? Well, the thing is, in Granny Chapter 1, you know that you are trapped in some house with a weird grandma psycho zombie who's chasing you around and trying to hunt you down and hit you in the head with a bat. Therefore, what happens? The house matches her. Instead of being this normal house, it's broken down. There are multiple spots that need repair that have been broken for a long time, it looks like. It just looks creepy. That combined with the music and the textures in it, I might add, are a little bit more, I guess, broken down per se. It looks like the house is been rotting for a good couple of years, just like Granny's face has been. So I guess in part it does match them. Whereas in Granny Chapter 2, it looks more like a grandparent's house. You have a piano. You have a TV that actually looks like it could still perform versus the one in Granny Chapter 1. You have the piano, you have a grandfather clock, you have a couple other things in there. You have the upstairs, the kitchen actually looks somewhat usable. You know, it doesn't look, and I might add that the textures are brighter as well. It looks disgusting, don't get me wrong, the house does, but it doesn't look like a old, broken down, rotting disgusting. It looks more like it's not so bad, it's just really dusty type disgusting, if that makes sense. And when you want to portray the effect of there's a psycho running around your house chasing you who wants to hit you and then eat you after 5 days, usually you don't want bright and cheery or just dirty. You want more creepy. And so I appreciate that about Granny Chapter 1. Now the second reason that I like Granny Chapter 1, I guess the second reason, I don't know. The second biggest point I want to make about it is the AI themselves, or the main characters. So of course in the first chapter it's just Granny, and then in the second chapter there's Granny and Grandpa. So in the first chapter, it almost looks like Granny blends in with her house. Not necessarily that she's camouflaged, but it looks like she belongs there. Her dress, her ugly, rotten teeth in her face, and the colors just line up better. That's why whenever I started playing Granny Chapter 2 for the first time, I thought, Granny looks really out of place in this house. She doesn't look like she belongs here. She doesn't look like she fits in. Sure, it's ugly and nasty and stuff, but still, she doesn't quite look right. Now, with that being said, I don't think Grandpa would really fit well at Granny's house in the first chapter. What I like to say is Granny's house is in the first chapter and it's Grandpa's house in Granny Chapter 2. I don't think he would fit well in her house, just like she doesn't fit well in his. So I think they just wanted to continue the series and hence brought Granny over from her house. Or I should say, Granny brought us over from her house to his house. And so I don't like the way that the AI are. Also, I might add that with one, it makes it a little bit easier. Now, I'm not saying I want the whole game to be easy, but at the same time, you get up, when you first play Granny Chapter 1, you get up and you're trying to figure out everything, and then there's some psycho woman chasing you with the baseball bat in her hand. Okay, I get that. And then it makes it a little bit easier to get things done because there's only one of them. You think, okay, she's behind me, there's no way she can be in front of me, so I can go ahead and grab this and then put this into its place. Whereas in Granny Chapter 2, you're constantly worried about, okay, I just saw Granny, now where's Grandpa? I know he can't hear anything, but he could be right around this corner. And I might add also, if you get stuck between them, get trapped in between them, then good luck. So it is a lot easier to play with just one. Of course, it's much easier just to play with one character rather than two. I don't know necessarily if I would make that the only reason, because it's supposed to be challenging to get out of the house, but at the same time, it makes it more reasonable and more doable for the average person that's going to be playing the game. And then finally, the final biggest reason is just the experience overall. I remember, and if you still to this day, if you look through, you'll see that the original Granny made huge YouTube careers, honestly. It's helped my channel grow, I'll tell you that much. It helped so many people. It became trending for so long. People kept wanting more and more, and it was so addicting of a game to play, and people still play it to this day. Whereas Granny Chapter 2, and I understand that this effect just comes with the fact that there was already a first chapter, but the Chapter 2 was kind of, honestly, it became more boring because we already knew what to expect. The first time you played Granny, the first time I played Granny, I wasn't exactly sure what I needed to expect, what I needed to get done. Whereas the second chapter, I already had the idea down, it's just adding another character and in a different house. Also, I might add that the overall experience in the first one, the door locks in Chapter 1 are mostly, I say mostly because not all of them, but most of them happen at the door itself. And in my opinion, you use more normal means to escape. You need pliers, you need a hammer, you need a padlock key, you need a padlock key code, and a master key. Whereas in Granny Chapter 2, for normal locks I am speaking of, you need cutting pliers, sure, and you need a padlock key. You need a crowbar to pry bars off the door. You need a hand wheel. I mean, that's not as common, and plus you have to go away from the door to do most of these things, to cut the wires, to do the hand wheel. Also, the last thing you need is the door handle, which you have to go find. All I'm saying is, as far as the master key in the first chapter versus the door handle in the second chapter, which one is more common? Which one makes more sense? For somebody to hide a key in their house to a locked door, or for somebody to take the door handle off and go hide that somewhere? I think that makes more sense to me to take the key and hide it. But, I mean, I'm trying to make sense out of Granny and Granny Chapter 2. These people make no sense whatsoever. I'm not going to try to understand their logic. I'm just here to tell you which one I like better, and the answer to that is Granny Chapter 1. So let me know what you think down in the comments. Do you, and like I said, I don't hate either one of the games. I just like the first chapter better. I go and play that one more often, and I do enjoy it much more than I do enjoy playing Chapter 2. But I want to hear your thoughts. What do you think? Especially if you've played both. Let me know down in the comments below if you agree with me or not. I want to hear reasons and just have discussions. No need to be mean or nasty or anything. Just tell me what you think. Tell me what your take is on it. Hope you did enjoy the video. If you could, leave a like on the way out. That'd be greatly appreciated as well. Also, go ahead and check out one of my other videos to keep yourself busy. Other than that, I will see y'all again soon. Thank you for watching this video. Goodbye.